Spy Family was one of the biggest shows in the last year, winning 18 Crunchyroll awards, and after spying and then infiltrating, completely took over the internet. Nowhere were you safe from the charming spy Twilight, aka Loid, the deadly assassin Yor, or the adorable mind reader Anya. They took the anime community by storm and were also greatly accepted by non-anime viewers alike. But how on earth was this show so successful? Well, if you simply believe the mixture of a sympathetic patchwork family and Anya's facial expressions are the whole reasons why the show works, you're right, but there is much more to it. Of course, the hype for the show was immense, making everybody a fan of the unlikely trio, but now that the dust has settled, season 1 is more than a year old and the hype is over. What about the quality of the show? Was Spy Family really that good? Well, yes, it was. But after this video, you will see the show with different eyes. Trust me. Okay, it's not that easy to bring something new to the table when it comes to this show. It feels like everything has been said about Spy Family, and in part, that is true. As many people have already pointed out, the characters are the heart of the show and the biggest reason for its success. Loid being the most charismatic spy since Hei from Darker Than Black, Yor the coolest female assassin since Akame from Akame ga Kill, and Anya the cutest girl with telekinetic powers since Mob. It only took a handful of episodes, maybe only even one, to fall for the Patchwork family thanks to their distinctive personalities and charming everyday interaction. We immediately feel sympathy for them, since all three are damaged individuals. Orphans who never had a family, and seeing the three getting closer together episode after episode, finally merging into a real family is not only satisfying to see, but also very relatable. After all, who wouldn't like to be in a family like the Forgers? One could also argue that Anya's facial expressions and memeable manner are the only reason for the show's popularity, and there is definitely some truth in there as well. She is the glue holding the family together, and her sweetness and innocence will melt your heart faster than Yor can eliminate you. The animation is top-notch, the soundtrack cool, and the story pretty entertaining. That should explain the greatness of the show, shouldn't it? However, if you look a little bit more closely, there's a lot of genius hidden under the surface. The reason Spy Family feels so refreshing on the one hand, but at the same time so familiar on the other, is its unused setting and its capability of perfectly blending in genres. Immediately in the first episode, the show kidnaps you into a 1970s world full of rich and detailed architecture and Cold War vibes. The country of Ostania, with its capital Berlin, which I find especially funny since I'm from Germany, is a stylish setting that hasn't been used frequently in anime. No incarnated fantasy world with bland protagonists, no typical anime high school, the setting and style of Spy Family is the secret ingredient many people tend to forget. The show also manages to have just the right amount of spy action, comedy and slice of life to keep you interested. It finds the ideal middle ground between polished spy action and enjoyable family drama, just before Anya does something hilarious to make you laugh again. The spy theme is not new, but wrapped around in a slice-of-life parroting story, it feels innovative without reinventing the wheel. It takes the spy aspect just as serious as its comedy aspect, and that is what makes it so great. Like I already said, the family trio is the heart of this show. Probably the most overlooked aspect that makes this family and the show so intriguing is not that they are cute together or that all of them have a tragic backstory, but that they all have different goals and secrets to hide. While Loid is on a private mission to prevent countries from clashing, infiltrating Anya and covering himself up with an arranged family, Yor is still part of a secret organization of assassins that eliminates traitors of the country. And on top of that, you have Anya, supposedly a secret product of the war, a mind-reading girl whose origins are even more mysterious than the one of her parents. All of them have secrets that they are not able to reveal to each other, and that gives the show constant potential for conflict or, most likely, comedic relief. If I'd had to compare it, it reminded me a little bit of the Patchwork family of Neon Genesis Evangelion. All three came from vastly different backgrounds, have different personas and different goals, which made living and working together so interesting. Also, Pen Pen is one of the coolest pets in anime if you ask me. It is thanks to the amazing talent of mangaka Tatsuya Endo, who knows about its strength and weaknesses of our beloved family members and how to put them in situations in which each of them can bring in their individual qualities, sometimes for the better, and sometimes for the worse. In order to understand why this is such a great work, it is important to look at the people who are actually responsible for it. In short, Spy Family is the perfect team-up of Studio Cloverworks and WIT, who brought in all of the talent to adapt and elevate the manga by Endo. Also, the director of Spy Family is Katsuhiro Furuhashi, who brought massive talent and experience towards the project. Hunter x Hunter, Rurouni Kenshin and Gundam Unicorn are only a couple of his former works. It's no surprise why the X in Spy X Family is actually inspired by Hunter x Hunter. Back in 2019, WIT took over the project, but due to their extremely tight schedule, called Studio Cloverworks for help. Both studios then split their work 50-50, And that is impressive because you are not able to tell a difference in the animation of the actual episodes. Whereas some corporations with studios end up in an unbalanced working environment, with one company having all the work, the cooperation between Cloverworks and WIT is based on mutual respect and a lot of care for the source material. Speaking about adapting, this is where the show really starts to shine. Watching Spy Family, it becomes clear that this is not a simple adaptation, transferring manga panels onto the screen, but an enhancement of the source material. From the pacing of the show that transfers some pages of the manga into 10-minute sequences that are filled with playfulness, towards small details and nuances in which character movements, and especially facial expressions, appear perfectly fluent. Loid's movements always feel elegant. I'm not making the elegant joke here. Yor's fighting abilities show the incredible range of animation, and Anya feels like a kid in every frame of the show. Cloverworks and WIT worked meticulously, giving every episode enough care to make it special, and you feel the dedication for this project from beginning to end. Not only animation-wise, but also musical-wise, Spy Family plays in a different league. Maybe not the first thing that comes into mind when thinking about the show, the music by Makoto Miyazaki, who sounds like a Dragon Ball fusion of Makoto Shinkai and Hayao Miyazaki, and his spy-themed soundtrack is criminally good. Of course, heavily inspired by the Bond franchise and classical spy themes, the soundtrack is filled with cool percussion solos, creative bass lines, bombastic big band moments, and blends together multiple genres like jazz and blues. Although I'm no expert by any means, the opening even reminded me a lot of Cowboy Bebop and the Seatbelts. Just listening to the soundtrack of his band No Name is a real treat, and I highly recommend it.
What on earth just happened?
Just a quick question. Should I continue reading the manga, or should I wait for the second season to come out? And what do you think about Spy Family? Please let me know in the comments down below. Thank you. Besides the smooth animation, the opening and ending are also filled with creative ideas. The opening alone takes you on a journey through different art styles, anime, and even video game references. Also, it strongly reminded me of the Pixar credits of The Incredibles. The ending is equally creative from a visual standpoint and gives you a nostalgic hip-hop track that immediately lets you want to watch the next episode. There's just so much creativity in both the opening and ending alone, giving you a lot to love about the show. My point with all of this, if there's any point at all, is that the show, despite looking really cute and wholesome on the surface, has so much talent, passion, and work behind it, it's actually crazy. Yes, Spy Family works as your innocent slice of life anime with truly amazing characters, but there's just so much more to explore if you dig deeper. The amazing adaptation work by Cloverworks and WIT, the jazz spy fusion soundtrack, the truly creative opening and endings, and the extreme care of evolving a really awesome manga into a generational show that will stay for a long time. Spy Family deserved all the hype back then, and it deserves it 1 year after its release and for the upcoming years to come. I can't wait for season 2. Over here, I talk about the dark shonen title Hell's Paradise and why it's actually dividing its fans.